Hey guys, a case that's always fascinated me is the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Now, I know lately a lot of conversations have been dominated by other cases, stories like Jay Slater and the deep dive mysteries that grab headlines. But in this video, I want to talk about something a little different. Something that isn't just another missing person case or viral true crime story. This is history. A moment that changed everything. And with the new JFK files just released, we've got fresh details that could reshape how we understand what really happened that day in Dallas. Some of it confirms old suspicions, some of it raises brand new questions, and some of it, well, it might just flip the whole narrative on its head. CIA surveillance of Lee Harvey Oswald. One of the most striking insights from the documents is the extent of the CIA's surveillance of Lee Harvey Oswald prior to the assassination. The files reveal that the CIA had been monitoring Oswald's movements and communications, particularly during his time in the Soviet Union and Mexico City. This surveillance included intercepting his mail and tracking his visits to the Soviet and Cuban embassies. However, despite this close monitoring, the agency did not act on potential threats, raising questions about intelligence oversight during that period. The fact that Oswald was under such scrutiny and yet still managed to carry out the assassination, if he acted alone, remains one of the most perplexing elements of the case. Were there bureaucratic failures, or was there a deliberate effort to allow events to unfold? These newly released files bring this issue back into the spotlight. Internal CIA discussions on agency reform. The documents unveil internal discussions within the Kennedy administration about overhauling the CIA. A memo from Arthur Schlesinger Jr., a close advisor to President Kennedy, suggests dismantling the agency in its existing form due to concerns over its operations and autonomy. This revelation provides context to the strained relations between the Kennedy administration and the intelligence community, possibly influencing events leading up to the assassination. Kennedy's dissatisfaction with the CIA had been well documented, especially after the disastrous Bay of Pigs invasion in 1961. He famously stated that he wanted to splinter the CIA into 1,000 pieces and scatter it to the winds. This level of conflict raises the possibility that the agency, or certain rogue elements within it, may have had their own motivations to ensure Kennedy was no longer in power. The timing of these declassified documents makes this discussion more relevant than ever. Allegations of a CIA clique involvement. Among the more controversial documents is a 1967 memo detailing claims by journalist Gary Underhill about a CIA clique being involved in Kennedy's assassination. Underhill alleged that certain rogue elements within the agency orchestrated the event. While these claims were never substantiated, their inclusion in official files highlights the myriad conspiracy theories that have surrounded the assassination over the decades. It's important to note that figures like Underhill were dismissed by mainstream sources at the time, but the fact that their testimonies were recorded in official documents suggests that these claims weren't taken lightly by the intelligence community. Does this mean the CIA was covering its tracks, or does it simply indicate a desire to document all possibilities? KGB's assessment of Oswald. The files also shed light on the Soviet perspective. A report from a KGB official indicates that the Soviet intelligence agency conducted its own investigation into Oswald's background and concluded that he was not an agent or collaborator. This counters some Cold War-era suspicions that the USSR might have been involved in the assassination plot. Oswald's defection to the Soviet Union in 1959 had long been a source of speculation. While he was ultimately sent back to the US, his connections to both superpowers fueled many conspiracy theories. If the KGB truly saw him as an unstable loner, why was he still engaging with Soviet and Cuban officials so close to the assassination date? These are the kinds of questions these new documents force us to reconsider. Reactions from the Kennedy family. The release of these documents has elicited strong reactions from the Kennedy family. Jack Schlossberg, JFK's grandson, criticized the manner of the release, expressing that it was done without proper consultation with the family and accusing political figures of exploiting the assassination for personal agendas. This underscores the enduring sensitivity and personal impact of the assassination on the Kennedy family. For the Kennedy family, this is more than just historical speculation. It's a deeply personal wound that has never fully healed. Every new document release reignites discussions and forces them to relive painful memories. It also raised the question of whether full transparency will ever truly be achieved, or if certain information will always remain hidden from the public eye. Confirmation of previous findings. While the newly released files provide deeper insights into the intelligence operations and geopolitical tensions of the era, they do not present evidence that fundamentally alters the established narrative of the assassination. The Warren Commission's conclusion that Oswald acted alone remains unchallenged by these documents, though they do highlight the complexities and potential shortcomings in intelligence operations leading up to the event. But does the lack of a smoking gun mean we should accept the lone gunman theory as absolute truth? Or is it simply a matter of crucial evidence, remaining classified or destroyed over the years? These questions remain at the heart of the JFK debate, and every new batch of files only seems to deepen the mystery. Public and scholarly reactions. The declassification has reignited public interest and scholarly debate. Historians and researchers are meticulously analyzing the documents to piece together a more comprehensive understanding of the events surrounding the assassination. Late-night host Jimmy Kimmel humorously noted that the release was like Christmas morning for conspiracy theorists, highlighting the enduring intrigue that surrounds this pivotal moment in American history. The JFK assassination has remained one of the most analyzed and debated events in modern history. Despite official conclusions, a significant portion of the public still believes in some form of conspiracy. Whether it was the CIA, the mob, foreign governments, or a combination of forces, the thirst for answers has never waned. These new documents will no doubt fuel the ongoing debate and inspire a new wave of theories and analyses. In conclusion, while these newly released files enrich our understanding of the context and intelligence activities surrounding President Kennedy's assassination, they do not drastically change the foundational conclusions of past investigations. However, they do offer valuable perspectives on the operations of intelligence agencies during the Cold War and the intricate web of geopolitical dynamics at play during that tumultuous period. I welcome your comments and opinions in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Do these new files bring us any closer to the truth, or do they just add more layers to the mystery?